Hello everyone, welcome to Berlin Dance Music Event, day 2. I hope everyone enjoyed the first day and I hope everyone will enjoy today as well. Welcome to the live stream and also welcome to SAE Institute here in Berlin. I think we should start off the day. We got a music production masterclass with Heerhorst coming up. Welcome everyone and enjoy!
Yeah, thanks. Good morning, everybody. My name is Bastian Heerhorst. My artist name is Heerhorst. I produce since like 20 years or something. And since 4 years, I started the Heerhorst Techno project, where I just make straight techno music. And today I want to talk about arrangement in techno and sound design, and a very simple method to be very fast and effective and to learn a lot of stuff. So what I did is check out tracks that I like on Beatport. And this morning on the train to Berlin, I thought, okay, what is the most popular track in the last year in peak time techno on Beatport? And it was, of course, Space 92, a track called Phobos. And I think it's a good example because it has the typical techno arrangement and the typical elements. So I just threw it into Ableton. And an important option in Ableton is to disable auto warp for long samples. So we don't get the yellow warping points. We just have the pure, here it is. Auto warp long samples, turn that always off. Then load the MP3. Okay, make it a bit louder. Now we find the first kick. Move it to the start point and check if we got the right BPM. Now we got 120 BPM. It's probably way faster. A good way to find out the right BPM is to just increase it by this move. Yeah. And then turn on the metronome. Oops, it's still not right. Now we got it, 130 BPM. Yeah, it's in grid. So what I always do first is just place a kick drum. I could explain how to make a big fat kick, but that would take too long. We just have 1 hour, so it's always good to use loops. There's no problem with just using loops. A good sample pack company is called Unity that I really like. They have really good kick loops with rumble already inside. Stuff like that. For this track, I would take a UMAC sample. UMAC also has a very good sample pack. They're all good, we just have to, this one for example. So our goal is not to recreate the track 100%, it's just to get the basic arrangement and to learn from that, and then we can still change it in the end. So first thing I always do is put an auto filter on the master channel. And then put it into high pass mode. Because as we can hear here, he also has a high pass first bars, and that's what we're gonna automate first. Here again, high pass filter. Then probably no kick here. Again, high pass here. Got the big break here. In the middle, it's always around 1 minute, a bit longer even in this case. Okay, let's get rid of those kicks. Again, high pass here. Again, high pass. No kick here. And the outro. Yep, that's it. So now we already have a basic arrangement. And as you can see, the red dots here is always the high pass filter turned on. No kick in the middle. And next step would be the hi-hats. Hi-hats are super important in techno to keep the energy alive. Let's listen what he used. Yeah, a mix of open and closed hi-hats already. We don't have much time, so I just stick to a loop. Head loop. Riemann has also very good stuff. Can really recommend Riemann loops. Just Command D, duplicate. Okay, no hi-hat here. Just a kick on the bass. And the hi-hat comes back here. drop. We start here again. So I think he has another additional open hi-hat. It's hard to hear from here on the stage, but yeah. And I think he has a right cymbal also. So we also take the right loop. Or we can do a ride on our own. Let's check the typical 909 ride. It's even included in Ableton. Yeah, this one. For that, I like to use the simpler because it's very simple and effective. So we just load it here. Make a clip. And just set it very simple, offbeat. Interesting thing about the 909 ride is a very annoying frequency. I don't know if you can hear it on these speakers. If I take an equalizer, maybe we can. First of all, I would cut the bass. We don't need the bass of the ride. And then there's this frequency. To put here the headphones. Maybe you can. Yeah. So we cut that one. Make it a bit more narrow. Yeah, now you can really hear it. So again, the difference before, now you can hear that annoying sound. And now it's gone. So again, we are in the red area, that's too much. So I select every track and pull down the faders. And to recompensate the volume, I like to use the limiter, the built-in limiter, and put that up. So let's group all the hi-hats. Again, I would use the simple equalizer. Cut the bass again. I could make them a bit more stereo if I choose the left-right mode on the equalizer. And on the left side, for example, put this up a little bit, and on the right side, that one. And maybe we could use some more saturation. I also really like the saturator in Ableton. There's a preset called A Bit Warmer, and that always works. Okay, it's a bit too much now. And then maybe another low cut. Yeah, because this saturator makes a lot of bass, so we cut that again. I think the kick is already fat, but sometimes you have a very thin kick and need a little bit more volume. There's another great trick. If we take another audio track and got the audio from the main kick. So now we just doubled it, but now we put a reverb on the second kick. We have to filter it a bit. And use some sidechain. Open this, sidechain the main kick. And make the bass a little bit more mono. You can do it with utility. So everything below, I don't know, 200 hertz will be mono. Then we can open the filter. So let's get back to the original track. Okay, for the beginning of the break, use like an impact sound. That's the bit. This one's good. So let me copy this, cut it. Oops. Forgot to make a group. So this is our hi-hat group, hats group. We paste all the effects here and delete them here. Sounds different, but our goal is not to sound the same. Our goal is just to have an arrangement. This part is not very much fun, but we can get to the creative part now. I mean, this took me now like 20 minutes, and we have a whole arrangement, because a lot of people that I know got stuck. They have creative loops, super cool stuff, but they struggle to make a whole arrangement out of that. And if you listen closely, he also has this 16 bass line, like always the same note. So let's add that too, or maybe first. Okay, sounds, bass. Just take an Ableton bass. This one. So this is the kick, I call it kick rumble now. We group the kick and the rumble. I always like to group the tracks for the better overview and for the effects. So let's check if we have any tonal content in that kick and check the tuning of the kick. Yeah, if you use the tuner, it's a good way to find the right frequency. Sometimes it doesn't show it. There's another option would be to use the equalizer, open it up and check the loudest peak. And we can see it's on F sharp. So let's just make 16 space notes. We could make them in C sharp or in F sharp. Oops. F sharp would be the same tune as the kick. -5 also works most of the time. Okay, it's way too loud. And of course we need sidechain. And the notes are way too long. We have two possibilities. We could shorten the notes here. Or we could just use a MIDI effect. It's called note length. So we still need the sidechaining. We could use the normal compressor, which always works. But my favorite method of sidechaining is the plugin called Track Spacer. The cool thing about Track Spacer is, so you use the kick. It only ducks the frequency of the kick, and not the whole volume. So let's check it out. So the high harmonic content is still there, but it just ducks the low. I'm not super happy with those hi-hats. They're a bit too long. A good trick to shorten the samples is stay in beats mode, in transients, and then just change the transients to forward only. And then you can shorten them here. Maybe what else? Let's listen to the original again. Maybe we can also get some percussive ideas. He has some claps with big reverb. So we just use some claps. Of course, 808, 909. Typical position for techno claps is always the last step before the one, like here. And lots of reverb. Okay, let's choose another reverb. Cathedral reverb. Yeah. So I take 4 bars and then just duplicate it. Because it's a very simple arrangement, it's always in time. Now we need those bass punches, some acid stuff. Best plugin for that, I think he also used the Serum. So we also played in C sharp or maybe in F sharp. Let's check it out. Again, typical position, one before the... reverb. Make it a bit longer because the loop is too fast. Then we just duplicate it, move around with the play, with the start arrow. Choose another preset. let's automate the filter a little bit. If we open the plugin and press configure, we can choose the elements that we want to automate. And if you had a MIDI controller, you could also use that now. If you press MIDI, click on this, move the MIDI controller, and then you can do it manually. But most of the times I'm too lazy for that. I just paint it in here. So keep the filter low in the beginning. Oops, lots of bass. It's too much for that sound. Okay, let's just paint something. And let's use a low cut. Because we already have so much bass content. We have the kick drum and the main bass line. That should be it for bass. Everything else has to be cleaned. So I always cut everything below 100 Hertz. Also for the reverb, I put an equalizer before the reverb to make sure no bass comes into the reverb, because then it will sound super muddy. So what else could we add? I think we can delete the original now, because we don't want to sound like Space 92. We want to develop our own sound. Yeah, let me just save it. One of my favorite plugins is the Rave Generator. I can really recommend that because it's for free and it has all the classic rave sounds. Just Google it. It's available for Mac and PC. It's really the best. You heard that a lot recently. It's back in fashion. Sound also always works. That's a good one. Let's use that sound in the break. Oops, the bass line still there. Okay. Let's filter in the hi-hats. I really use the auto filter a lot for a lot of stuff. So just automate. Oops. Here in the beginning of the break, you can just filter it out. Okay, so this would be exactly the point where the drop normally would come in, and Space 92 did something to put it longer behind, to put the tension even higher. But I think 1 minute break is enough for us, so I will delete the whole time, and I don't have to move it around. I can just select this part and then cut the time. Where is it? Zeit löschen. Yeah. There we go. So we need more tension in the end. So I just copy that. Yeah, not bad. And of course, we also need a drum roll, snare roll. I'm too lazy to program one right now, so I just use the sample. Good thing about Ableton, you can always go back to your old projects and take your favorite parts from that. So if you already have good hi-hats, a whole group of hi-hats, sometimes you can just use those. Okay. Quantize. And again, shorten the transients, maybe. Made a mistake here. I have the claps, the short claps, and the impact on the same track. normally it's better to have one track for everything. Okay. Try even more acid. Let me save it and take a 303. My favorite at the moment is the one from Roland. I also like the Ableton, the audio realism bass line is very good, and the one from D16, they're all great. It directly plays, it has some preset patterns, but it's the wrong note. We can edit it. Okay, we see here his bass note is E. We can transpose that to C sharp maybe, or F sharp. Okay, let's make it shorter. Yeah, let's take that part. You can directly drag that pattern and drop it. So you got the notes here, and then we can get more creative with that later. That's too much. Let's group that stuff. Use the track spacer again. Track space on the 303. Yeah, let's get rid of some notes. So again, we want to automate the 303. We click Configure and move the fader that we want to automate, or the knob. Okay, it's too much delay. I think there's another delay. So. Equalizer, cut the lows. minutes. Yeah, we could use this 303 or not. Space had a cool melody originally, like an arpeggio melody. Very cool trick for that is, let me take another serum. So now we play it chromatically, but we know we are in F sharp or C sharp, something like that. My favorite MIDI plugin from Ableton is the scale. It's often overlooked, but if you're not really good in all the in scales, because I don't know how C sharp minor looks like, because I'm not that good in piano playing. So an easy way is to just choose a scale. You can't go wrong with minor scale. Most of the techno tracks are on minor. And then we change the bass to C sharp. Maybe. And no matter how I play, it's like auto-tune for the keyboard. I can't play wrong. I always play C sharp minor. And it's super easy to find good melodies with that. So, but I'm still not sure if we are in C sharp or in F sharp. We'll try both. Let's try that first. Another good trick is to use an arpeggiator. So I will just play around now from here. Okay. Something like that, maybe. So I select all, and then Command U is quantize. And I like the last part I played. Maybe that's a good base to start something. Maybe another preset. Oops. Sample's missing, fuck. Let's pitch it. I also really like this pitch plugin to make an octave higher, for example. And no matter how I pitch it, it will always stay in C sharp minor. Again, I click on Configure, choose the cutoff. So we have something to automate. Again, low cut, we don't need the bass from that sound. Maybe that's better. Yeah, maybe we'll make a little variation. Cut it here and move those notes 5 steps down. Yeah, works. So we consolidate those two. Loop it. And maybe put those notes up again. Yeah, it probably sounds like shit because I don't have any monitor speakers here, so I can't really hear to match the levels. So yeah, it would take, I guess, another 1 or 2 hours to finish that arrangement. But for now, I think you get an idea how I produce and how fast it goes. Like we're 1 hour in the game and already got almost a track. I mean, the mixing is still not good. So what I always do is select one group, hold Command All, and then fade us down again to make sure to have it not too loud. Okay, this is. It should be at like -6. So if you give it to the mastering engineer, he likes. -6, it's a good starting point. And for listening, you can still use the internal Ableton limiter. And if you got Ozone, it's very good for mastering, for test mastering, if you want to check it out on the club. And also in the Ozone bundle is the plugin called Tonal Balance, which is super interesting because if you choose a loop where everything plays, all the hi-hats, all the melodies, so yeah, we get everything here. Then you can see if you're on the green area, if the levels are good balanced. Now we see, okay, the hi-hats are too harsh or maybe too loud. But everything else looks okay. And I always look here at this part if it has enough dynamics for the kick. Sometimes there are kick drums that's like always flat the whole time. That mostly sounds shit. So if I got all the parts, now it's not 100% arranged, but what I usually do is rename the groups correctly. Then I would turn off the limiter in the master chain. So we just have the auto filter for the small breaks. And then I would render all the single stems. So they're all selected. And then we choose not the master because we want to have the single stems or the groups. And we turn in master effects, we turn that on because we want to have the reverb and the delay on every stem. I don't like it if it's separate, if you have a reverb file with all the reverb, makes no sense. So this takes a little bit longer, but it's more effective in the end. So we just need wave, and in our case for techno, 16-bit is enough in my opinion. We don't need the MP3. So I would just start rendering, give it a short name, and it would render all the stems, and I would make a new project, and I'm free with CPU again. I got all the audio files and can see it better and edit it deeper. So yeah, that was the 1 hour. Normally I would love to talk longer, but I guess we are done here. Do you have any questions? Yeah.
You were using this ducking plugin.
Which one?
A ducking plugin.
Yeah, track spacer.
Yeah. Did you put it on the kick drum? I wasn't sure.
No, not on the kick. I put it on every other stem except the kick.
Ah, okay. And then in the beginning you said just the low end is ducking, but the high end isn't. Was it because it wasn't in the right frequency, the highs? Then I think then you transpose the hi-hat loop into the right key, and then it was ducking at all. So,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. True. So I can show it again. So we're here with the kick. So I use that kick as a trigger for yeah. I mean, the bass is a good example. Or let's just take a saw. Somewhere. So track spacer behind the bass. Then sidechain input the kick. So the high frequencies of the saw lead is still, you can still hear them. I mean, it's almost the same like a compressor, but I prefer this method. It's also great for vocals. Yep. Any more questions?
Because you said Riemann is nice, they got a very nice mastering chain for if you want to test out your tracks before the clubs. They got it for free, a mastering chain.
Really? Riemann?
Yeah, Riemann, yeah.
Ah, okay, cool.
And it's very nice
for
that. And yeah, Wave Generator is an awesome plugin.
Yeah, it is, and it's for free.
Yeah, that's it. I think, yeah, Rainer Zonnefeld, he got his all live setup, but
of course,
the most presets he's playing with this, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. Thank you.
Good. Thank you for coming. Thanks.